Hello, this is TIGER GRWM here, and welcome to a new series I'm planning. This is the pilot episode of GRWM, or Gallium Reviews War Movies. This is a series where, you guessed it, I review war movies, and today's subject is White Tiger, a Russian war film from 2012, directed by
Karen Shakhnazarov
and co-written with Alexander Borodansky. It is based on the movie Tankist by Russian novelist Ilya Boyashov. The movie is about a badly wounded Soviet tank commander on the Eastern Front of World War II, who becomes obsessed with tracking down and destroying a mysterious, invincible Nazi tank, which the Soviet troops call the White Tiger. And now, the review. You know, the part that you clicked on this video for. I think that this movie is definitely worth watching for anyone interested in World War II who can forgive a couple inaccuracies and a sizable dose of Russian bias. The acting is very nice, and so are the VFX, because I can't tell what's CGI and what's not. However, I am not the biggest fan of the plot, as it is a bit too fictional and doesn't explain most of it. The movie has a 55% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 6.1 on IMDb. And now, the plot. The part that contains spoilers for anyone that's curious. The movie starts out with a battlefield littered with blown-up T-34s and Panzer IVs in the summer of 1943. In one of the aforementioned wrecks lies our protagonist, looking like a charred dead body. He gets swiftly transported to hospital, where, against all odds, he makes a shockingly quick recovery and soon discovers his severe amnesia. However, we do find out his supposed name, Ivan Ivanovich. He doesn't know how old he is, nor where he came from, but does remember his skills. We then cut to a nice panning shot of a train rolling by, to him standing between a line of wrecked tanks, including a BT of some sort, a Matilda, and a T-34. This is where we find out that tanks can talk to him. He mentions to the officers that the T-34 was taken out by a Tiger, the same one that took out his previous T-34. The officers then point to the rumour of the White Tiger, but dismiss it as nonsense. The next scene is of a German POW being interviewed about said White Tiger. The prisoner of war says that the Tiger suddenly appeared from one of the flanks and started obliterating the Russians, then disappeared, seemingly without a trace. Next, some officers higher up in the ranks are discussing about the White Tiger and how it always appears at their rear. They come to the conclusion that it must be some sort of special monster tank, as even the IS tank destroyers weren't able to penetrate its armor. In the end, they get the idea to put together their own unique tank based on the T-34-85, with a stabilizer, which I personally believe to be absolute tomfoolery, upgraded armor, and motor. We then cut to an interview with Ivanovich, where he explains that the White Tiger is dead, meaning that he cannot feel that there is a crew inside it, like there would be in any other tank. He then gets selected as driver/commander of the experimental T-34 with the assignment of killing the White Tiger. Following this, we meet his crew, Sergeant Creek, or however you pronounce that, the gunner, Master Sergeant Berdayev, the loader. Next, he discusses with the officer that interviewed him, who's called Alexei by the way, that the Tiger is hiding somewhere in the forest and is going to ambush him. Then he asks for another tank, which he is reluctantly giving, Now I'm gonna move along a bit faster because this script is getting a tiny bit long. After both T-34s are hidden, we then get some lore about how Ivanovich has some sort of magic charm protecting him. In the morning hours of the next day, we get to the first battle. The White Tiger slowly emerges from the forest, being met by the distraction maneuvers of T-34 number 2, which gets promptly annihilated. Ivanovich then moves out of his ambush position and starts firing at the white beast, without much luck. The tiger then starts rapidly shooting at Rex, trying to find Ivan, who decides to charge the beast's right flank. Upon arriving at the position, they discover that the tiger isn't there, but to their own rear instead. The tiger fires a shot at the transmission, quote-unquote missing the crew compartment, and leaves. Soon after, Alexei, who witnessed the battle, is investigating where the tiger went after their battle, finding tracks that lead straight into a swamp, coming to the conclusion that it must have sunk. After some further plot about Ivanovich and mystifying the white tiger, the movie cuts to many T-34s charging through a battlefield, only to have the white tiger start obliterating them at a ridiculously fast pace. Our protagonist then decides to chase the beast after it leaves. After a nice T-34 driving and looking around montage, a T-54 based Panzer IV replica gets obliterated. Then we get to our final battle. At first, it's a type of Mexican standoff between the two. Then Ivan begins to charge, evading shells before they're even fired. In the end, the tiger's turret traverse gets disabled, and the T-34's gun blows up due to mud stuck inside it. The tiger then retreats, never being seen again. This is pretty much the end of the movie, although there are 20 minutes left. The movie ends with Germany declaring that they surrender, and Ivan continuing his quest to find and destroy the white tiger, even if that means waiting until he crawls out in 20, 50, or even 100 years. And now, for the tanks. You know, the part where I bash on replicas. Many of the tanks used in this movie seem to be authentic, except the Tiger and the Panzer IV. The Tiger seems to have been built on an IS chassis, judging by the sheer length of it, and what can be seen of the return rollers and road wheels. I mean, seriously, why did they pick an IS chassis? The T-34 based Tigers in Kelly's Heroes look better than it. But I guess it's meant to be a super tank, but I'm not so fussed about it. Now, the Panzer IV seems to have been built on a T-54 chassis, like in the movie Tankers, and I think it might have been a prop from that movie. Past tense, because it got blown up. However, they already had a somewhat broken one, so my question is, why didn't they use that one instead? Surely it wouldn't have been that expensive or time-consuming to weld some sheet metal together and make it move using movie magic. But all in all, I think that the tanks used in this movie are actually rather good and authentic, seeing as most of the T-34-85s are, well, T-34-85s that can move under their own steam. I mean, they're like the most built tank of World War II, but I think I can ignore that for now. Alrighty, and that's all I wanted to cover for this video. Now, I'd like to have some suggestions for other movies I could do this type of video on. And how you liked it. How you liked my little stick figure character, which I should probably improve, but show budget currently does not exceed absolute zero. So, I guess that's gonna be the end. So, thank you for watching. That was it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and want to see more, hit that subscribe button. But until then, thanks for watching, and bye. Bye.